Hey guys, it's JC with JC Smoke Meats. Now, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but I actually built and designed the two smokers that we're dealing with today. And when I initially built them, I actually painted them with a high temp paint. And even though we did all the prep right, applied it properly, cured it and everything, it just doesn't work well with these high temp items. The stuff always ends up peeling. I don't know if it's the humidity, if it's the heating cycles, I'm not sure what it is, but they just don't hold up. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna pressure wash off all of that old paint, get them all dried off, and then we're actually gonna season them just like you would a cast iron pan. You apply an oil and you heat it up. And that does a really good job protecting the metal. And you know, as maybe every month you apply another coat. With paint, you can't do that. You gotta clean it all off and prep the surface to paint again. But with oil, we don't have that problem. So now, I think we're about 3 years in on these two smokers and I'm just finding time to get it done. So that's what we're gonna do today. So I'll get the pressure washer set up and we got the smokers in the background. We'll see how it goes. This is the pressure washer. It's a 10 horse diesel motor on I think it's a 5,500 PSI pump. It's really powerful. I'm hoping this is enough to strip the paint off that metal. If not, I do have another secret weapon. It's actually a sandblasting system that works with the pressure washer. But I do have this big old turbo nozzle. This thing probably weighs a kilo or two. It's heavy, and this does a pretty good job. So we'll get this fired up and see how it does. Well, unfortunately, 5,000 PSI, it's not enough. So, we gotta break out the messier, and this is already really messy, the messier option. And that's actually hitting this with sandblaster. Oh, good to know. Alright, you can kind of see this darker stuff is still paint. It's just not pulling it off. This is what it does to the rust, and this also isn't enough, so we'll have to get that sandblaster attachment, which is right here. This thing. The water comes in here, and it uses a Venturi effect to pull sand in through that. And there's a hose that goes to a bag of sand and it just blasts the heck out of everything. So we'll have to hit this again tomorrow because I don't have the sand on site. But there it is. Now I know not very many Taiwanese people have had the wonderful experience of pressure washing something, but it is so messy. So we're gonna put on something that I brought from back home. These are called Grundens. They're really nice coveralls to keep you dry. Pressure washing's messy enough. You add sand into the equation, ugh. It's not pretty. All right. Ear protection. All right, ready to go. Let's fire this bad boy up. All right, so we got 2 pieces clean. I'll show you what that looks like. You know, I wasn't really sure how well this would work when I started, so I'm pretty happy. I'll show you what we got. No paint left anywhere. Just some light oxidation, but it starts to rust fast. Next step is to get some oil on here. Okay, so yeah, we're basically heating these panels up to burn off all the moisture from when we washed them, and then I'll get a coat of oil on there, and then we got to heat it up all over again. It's just like seasoning, like when you're cast iron pans. It's the same kind of process. It's just these, you know, they're 40, maybe 30 or 40 kilos each panel. They're really, really heavy. I think we built these with 6 mil mild steel on the smoking box. And yeah, we're using soybean oil. When this stuff gets heated up and cooked off, it forms this real hard, smooth finish that it works real well. So that's the plan. Oiled up. So, as much fun as it is to stand there with a torch and burn stuff, the better idea would be just to assemble this and fire it up with some firewood. So, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so a common question we get is, where did we get the smokers? It's a long story, but we didn't actually smoke meat with the intent of selling it. It was actually just to test out the smokers, because I was designing and building the smokers to be sold back in the US. So you'd have to smoke, a full smoker of, ribs and brisket. And then what do you do with all that meat? One person can't eat 200 pounds of meat. It's just insane. So then you hand it out to your friends, which always leads to the question is, where can we buy this? Oh yeah, we don't sell it. Maybe we should try and sell it. So that's how the meat business started. But yeah, it was all around designing and building these smokers to be sold. So, I designed these to be modular. As you're seeing, I have to put them together. I think it was 135 bolts per smoker. It's got to be 10, 15 pounds of hardware to put these together, because each panel is, the side panels from the smoking box are at least 100 pounds. The firebox, which is, I believe, 8 mil mild steel, those are, another 50, 60 pounds each. So this whole smoker, this specific revision, is got to be upwards of 600 kilos, which is, it's a lot of weight. It's over 1,300 pounds. So I built them to be modular. You can assemble them and build them, so you can bring them up to wherever they need to go piece by piece and then build them. And I didn't want to have any problems with expansion and warping, so I made them out of real thick metal, which leads to these giant behemoths. But yeah. Okay, so we got the smoker all put back together. The next step is to load it full of wood and fire it up. So like I said, it was just a big pain in the butt to individually oil and then heat with a torch every panel. It's just way too many pieces. So kind of got smart and realized, why don't I just do the whole thing, assemble it, and then fire it up with wood and let the wood take care of the seasoning the metal, which is what we did here. I ended up bringing it up to about 200 degrees centigrade, and then I let it just bake for, I think it was going for 4 or 5 hours. I ended up going home, so I'm not positive. But yeah, in the end, the entire surface of this smoker had this nice, hard, clear finish on it that, you know, it'll be good for at least half a year. And then if anything happens, you just wipe on some more oil and fire it back up again. It's really